Welcome to episode 19. And as promised, episode 18, I want to talk about my three greatest weaknesses. But first, I want to talk about analysis versus analytical perspectives. So, I'm good at analysis, but I'm not so necessarily good at when it comes to analytical perspectives. The difference between the two is somebody good at analysis, they can ascertain a situation, they can make sense of it, they can put it into perspective, and they can know they can give information and explain to themselves, okay, this is what this means, this is what actions I need to take. Somebody has an analytical perspective, they're usually focusing on the data. It has to be quantifiable. So if a situation arises or an issue arises in a company, they want to know how long has this been, not resolved, how many people are affected, how does this affect revenue, how does this affect expenses, basically overall, how does this impact the overall business as a whole. So that's the differences between somebody that's good at analysis, such as myself, versus somebody that has an analytical perspective. They're trying to quantify everything because that's how they learn, so that they can create a meaning to determine what actions they take. Now, it's just my personal opinion. Sometimes I think analytical perspectives, they blow stuff out of proportion because everything is about control, everything is about structure, and when it's not control, it's not in the structure, they freak out because a lot of them are not good at problem solving. That's the whole reason why they like to put stuff in place, and they feel like they want the system, the policy, the procedure to take care of all of the heavy work. But when the system, the policy, procedure is either not working 100% or it's not, sufficient enough to handle this new problem, then that's when all the chaos starts. But getting back to it, my three biggest weaknesses are: number one, deep data; number two, statistical reporting; and number three, micro detailing. So I get into them real quick. First one is deep data. Deep data, these are usually people that have spreadsheets or some type of application or some type of platform where they deal with a whole bunch of data all day, every day. They're usually sitting at the desk and they're very focused on their data. And these are people that usually love numbers. And they have ways of thinking, getting back to the analytical perspective, in the sense that allows them to control, manage, and manipulate large amounts of data with very little ease. So they're able to come up with systems or formulas or queries or whatever to manage this data, and they like to do everything. They like to try to do everything, quote unquote, the lazy way. So they will spend all of their time, like I said, on a system, on a query, on a policy, on a procedure, something quantifiable, something that's very data or deep data enriched, just so they don't have to do anything physically or manually. So deep data, like I said, usually analytical work. I'm not very good at it. That's my weakness. I'm a strategy. I'm a creator. I'm good at execution. So deep data is definitely one of my weaknesses. The second one is statistical reporting that ties into deep data. I'm good at getting the job done, but not necessarily reporting all of the milestones and all the quantifiable data that went along, with that function. So if there's a project that needs to be done in 5 days, I'm gonna get you the project done in 5 days or sooner. I won't have all the statistical data to say, okay, well, on day 1 you did 20 steps. How long did each step take you? On day 2 you did 12 steps. How long did each step take you? What was the impact to revenue on your department? What was the impact on the revenue for the division? How much money and expenses did we spend to get this done? I'm not gonna have all that statistical data because my main focus is on getting this project done in 5 days or later. I don't have metrics on every single detail, every single step that I did. I'm an operations guy. That's not my strength. Which, getting back into episode 18 about core competency, which is strengths, I stay in my strength. I'm a problem solver. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at solving problems, not providing data for everything that goes on. But you got to be self-aware and don't get caught up in the money trap. A good example is that at a previous employer, there was an analyst position that came up, and I love operations, and I could have took that job. But number one, I would have been doing the company a disservice. Number two, I would have been doing myself a disservice, and I would have been doing my team a disservice as well, because they really need me in an operation and from a strategy perspective. And I need them in their respective positions as well. And everybody kept saying, Joe, you should apply for the position. They were saying that based on my expertise in operations. And they figured, hey, if you get at operations, you could be good at analytics too, or analytical reporting, which is not the case. I'm self-aware of that. I have no problem telling people what my weaknesses are, hence the reason for this video. But I'm not going to do it for the money. Not only that, I would have been miserable coming in every morning. Yeah, I'm making more money, but I'm miserable. I'm stressed out, anxiety, and everything else. I know a lot of people that do that. They have jobs and either they're not skilled at, they don't like, or they're not qualified for it. But because the money was good, oh, I can do all of this, I can do all of this. Yeah, but what about your health? If you don't have your health, how can you be functioning? How can you really live life the way you were supposed to live if you're stressed out and you got anxiety all the time? That's not good for nobody. So I was the operation brain. I had members of management that were good at the deep data analytical brain, and I also had management that were good with people. So as a collective, we worked together to make sure all of the needs of the department was met. And my last weakness is micro detailing. I'm a macro person. The details are important, but I don't do well in functions or in activities that are super micro detail. I was previously working with an employer in which I was doing a specific task or a specific function, and they mentioned that they just wanted somebody that was organized, I was open, I was a team player. So I thought it was a good fit. But they never told me that it was so micro detail. Not only that, I think some employers do that. They don't tell people the full gamut or what they feel like they should know in order to make an educated decision. So I accepted this role and I proceeded further. And come to find out, it was just too much detail. I was moving too slow. I wasn't meeting deadlines. And the management team thought it was the best decision to part ways, which I think it was great. It was great mutual benefit of dissolving that agreement. But it was all because it was micro detail. One process took like 300 micro steps, and everything was so data rich and data intensive. And the company is very analytical. Very, very analytical. A lot of the other things they don't take into consideration. It's either black or white. The owner and the CEO, he's very data driven. He has a engineering and a mathematical background. So to him, everything is quantifiable. And there was also some members of management that are also data and analytical. So to them, everything is quantifiable. They don't take all the other stuff into consideration. Their primary thing is a metric, is data. And that was my weakness. So hence, it was a match made in heaven to dissolve that partnership and for me to pursue other career opportunities. So those are my top 3 greatest weaknesses. I'm not ashamed of it, because the way I get around that is, like I said, I focus on my core competency, on what I'm good at, and then I just partner with others to compensate for my lack of deep data, statistical reporting, and micro detailing. So let me know in the comments, what are your weaknesses? What are your thoughts on weaknesses? Once again, thank you for tuning in to The Consistent Creator as a whole and episode 19. And I look forward to seeing another episode. Simmons out.